Welcome back. Paolo Angeli grew up on the Italian island of Sardinia, a region with musical traditions that include throat singing, sacred chants, and the launeddas, an ancient three-pipe woodwind instrument. But it is the guitar that attracts Angeli. After studying with another Sardinian guitarist, Giovanni Scanu, Paolo started to develop a unique instrument. It's unconventional and is hardly traditional, but the music he makes with it echoes a long Sardinian musical legacy. Paolo was in Hong Kong last month, and he spoke to us while he was here.
Well, truly a one-man band with us here in the studio. This is absolutely magnificent. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Can you take us through some of the amazing sounds and things that you've done to modify this guitar?
Well, on first is a giant guitar. As you can see, it's not dimension like Spanish one. It's bigger. And the tuning is fit lower, so it's baritone instrument. Then, the first modified I did is to play like a cello. So I can play basically one string because the bridge is still flat. Then hammers like piano. So there is a mechanical hand on top of the body with cables connected to pedals. So with the foot I could play the bass line. Then propellers inside of the instrument. Then more things like this, like sound like guzheng or pipa, and my idea is like introduce instruments. It's like a small orchestra.
What gave you this idea to modify the instrument in this way?
You know, John Cage, it'd be the first step. You know, I always use all these small things from prepared piano tradition. You know, you can just change with small stuff like this, guitar like an electronic instrument, you know. Just as aperitif things. But the very great meeting that I had with Fred Fried, who is the mentor of prepared guitar, and John Rose, that had been a great violin player from Australia that invented so many prepared violins. And I had the occasion to work with this great musician when I was very, very young. So they gave me the idea that I could do something different than normal
and
guitar.
you certainly have with your career, and being also from the Sardinian musical tradition, which takes a lot of influence from all over the place.
Well, also because Sardinia is in the center of Mediterranean, and we had so many colonization and meeting with other cultures that our music is very special depending which part of the island. I mean, the center we have the very great canto a tenore, but I study with the older guitar player in Sardinia. It's something similar to flamenco, for example. It's more connected to this kind of Mediterranean monodic songs with guitar, and in a battle with free singer, free to improvise melody, and guitar player that follow this crazy acrobatic singing.
Now, of course, you function spectacularly well as a one-man band, but it's truly remarkable the musicians that you've worked with. Maybe take us through some of the highlights of those collaborative efforts.
Well, I feel that very important things like, you know, music is to play together. I mean, of course, solo is the deepest experience that a musician could have. It's like a psychoanalysis. You know, it's like look your face in front of a mirror every day and check how your face change, you know? But then collaborations, for example, I had a great experience with Pat Metheny many years ago. Then with Fred Fried, I still playing in duo. With Iva Bitova, she is a great violin player from Czech Republic, or the great violin player from Japan, Takumi Fukushima. Also trio Gagarin, that is a great combination with cello from Russia, drummer from Catalonia, and me from Sardinia. Or Gavino Murgia, we had a quartet with Gavino, with piano player Antonello Salis. So we had a great experience together, always different.
Where are you taking this instrument? What's going to be the next big project for you?
I think the next project will be to introduce new members in the band. I mean, this is a small orchestra. The idea is like, now there is mandolin, there is on top like noise part, and the idea is like to introduce much more elements in the family.
Could you play something for us here in the studio and tell us a little bit about the music that you're going to play?
Later I'm going to play Sponde. Sponde is a composition that I really love, as Sponde means two parts of the river, you know. So in a way it's a travel between the two. It's what happened here in Hong Kong every day between the two.
With the Star Ferry?
Yeah.
Marvelous. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.